What can save you from injuries, from your day-to-day activities like driving a car, you're riding a bike, walking, standing, sitting for long hours? What prevents you from slouching, hunching? What keeps your posture intact? Even when you're sitting for a very long period of time, when you're trying to lift something from the ground, what can really improve your athletic performance, giving you better control of the movements? What can help you regain control with acute or long-term back pain? What can retain your quality of life as you get older? Spine stability. First, you need to understand how exactly the basics of spine stability works, because doing random core exercises every day is actually going to make things worse for you. See, your spine can primarily move in these movements. It can flex, extend, it can laterally flex, then it can rotate. Okay, so you will have to work on all the muscle groups involved in stabilizing these movements and create a proper counterbalance between them. Okay, so if you don't create a proper counterbalance, what happens is it pushes you towards some kind of biomechanical abnormality. Like if your extensors, okay, if your extensors are too tight, it is going to push you into hyperlordosis, okay, because those muscles over a time will tend to overtrain themselves. They become too strong than the muscles in the front. Okay, so the balance between these muscles in the front and back is going to keep the spine in its neutral position. The same happens for the lateral flexions and the rotations also. So creating a counterbalance between all these muscles which are responsible for stabilizing the spine is very, very important when you choose which core exercises to do. So people seems to have a particular misconception that the core muscles means the ab muscles in the front, okay, but that is not the core muscles. Okay, the core muscles are surrounding the spine all together. All right, so you have your rectus abdominis, you have your internal external obliques, you have a deeper muscle called the transverse abdominis, okay, and then in the back you have your lats, you have your multifidus, erector spinae, you have your glutes muscles. All of these work together in order to form the core, and they help with the movement and stabilize the spine in the process. There are 3 different types of stability exercises which you can do. The first one is static, reactive, and then there is dynamic stability. Okay, so the one which we are going to focus today, which is going to help you maintain your spine in its neutral position, is more focused towards static stability. Let me show you 3 basic but very effective spine stability exercises known as the McGill's Big 3. Now, these were developed by Dr. Stuart McGill, a very renowned spine specialist who has also trained a lot of Olympic athletes to regain function from the major injuries what they had. So the first exercise is called an isometric bird dog. All right, so first you'll have to place your palms shoulder width apart, and then from this position you keep your knees hip width apart. Your knee should be in a 90-degree angle to the hip. From this position you're going to extend one arm forward, keep looking down and maintain the position of your cervical spine. Now you extend the opposite leg back. Now maintain the arms in a straight line. It should neither be extended, don't let it come above the shoulder level, neither it should be too low, just keep it in a straight line. Your hips are also not extended up. You don't put your lower spine into hyperextension, because maintaining it in the neutral position is very important. Maintaining the spine in the neutral position is very important. So don't lower it also too low. Just keep your knee straight, keep your hip extended, keep the arm extended. Maintain this position for at least 5 seconds if you can. Then you can take a break. Repeat this for another 5 to 10 repetitions. The next one is a side plank. All right, you can do a half side plank to begin with, later progress into a full side plank. This one is to improve the core stability for the lateral flexion movement. All right, so here's how you can do it. Just lie down on your side first. Keep the elbows bent, place it in a 90-degree angle to the shoulders. From this position, all you do is you just bring both the knees towards the front. Your outer end of the knee is in contact with the ground. Now, from this position, Look straight forward, lift the hip up. The opposite arm, you can hold it up in this position so that this will give you a better sense of balance. Just hold this position for at least 20 to 30 seconds. If lesser, that is fine. You can just hold it for 20 to 30 seconds, rest, and then do at least another 3 to 4 sets. So the next exercise is called a McGill crunch. Now this is a very important exercise. What you do is lie down on your back first. You need to keep one leg extended, one leg bent. Now, you need to slide your palms below the lower back and stabilize the lower spine. Look towards the ceiling. Now, you just crunch just enough to activate your core muscles, your upper ab muscles. Okay, so what happens if you crunch too much? That does not stabilize your spine in its neutral position. So it's very important that you hold the spine somewhere very close to a neutral angle. Okay, so you can just look up towards the ceiling. Do not flex the neck. Just crunch just enough to activate your upper abs, and then hold this position for 20 to 30 seconds. You can, after every rep, if you want, you can just switch the leg. That is optional. Okay, I want you to do this for 5 to 10 repetitions at least. So don't keep following the exact same mode of exercise for too long. Okay, what happens is when it becomes too easy, the exercise stops working again, which is one of the main reasons a lot of physical rehabilitation programs fail. Okay, you'll have to introduce more challenging exercises over a period of time as your spine builds more stability and you are able to tolerate much more complex movements. Okay, so there is also something called as the overloading principle. If you do not understand what that is, you can refer to some of my older videos which I have clearly explained what exactly an overloading principle is. If you already have some kind of back pain, whether it is acute or chronic, I would still take proper medical advice and get a very certain diagnosis before doing any of these exercises. Okay, any core stability exercises, because the spine is a very complex joint and 100 different things can go wrong with it. Okay, so if I were you, I would be very, very careful. See, these core stability exercises are going to be very, very beneficial for you on the long term. So make sure you add them into your regular exercise routine. Okay, so they deliver a perfect blend of increasing your balance, coordination, strength, endurance, and stability of all the core muscles involved. I hope I was able to shed some light into why spine stability exercises are very important for you, both in short and in long term as well. Thank you for watching. This is Coach Shyam.